just exposed the Cleveland Browns and on their motives and what they got going on. He explains to you how Dillon Gabriel is who the Cleveland Browns the whole time was preparing for and getting ready. I've been exposed this myself, but I'm giving you the groups of people who everybody else respects and likes. Because since I look too hood for you guys, we're going to go through his exposing of the Cleveland Browns. Now, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Now, I'm DJ Bless One. I'm back with another episode from I Smoke Hip Hop Live.
A Cleveland Browns insider just dropped a bombshell that's sending shockwaves through the NFL. This so-called quarterback competition between Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, it's completely rigged. Daryl Rudder from Cleveland's 92.3 The Fan just exposed the truth that front offices don't want you to know. The Browns never intended to give Shedeur a fair shot. While everyone's been debating who's better, the real story is how they've been systematically setting up Gabriel for success and Sanders for failure. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about power, control, and keeping certain players in their place. Listen, what you're about to hear is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about this quarterback battle. Because, according to multiple sources, including recent training camp reports that just dropped, this whole thing has been orchestrated from day one. And let me tell you something, when insiders start talking this boldly, you better pay attention. So check this out. Daryl Rudder, who works for Cleveland 92.3 The Fan and covers the Browns religiously, just came forward with information that should be making national headlines. But of course, mainstream media is staying quiet because this exposes the dirty game they've been playing all along. Rudder straight up said, and I quote, "Dillon Gabriel shouldn't be ahead of the ball, boys. Every time I watch him, I think to myself, they can't be serious with this kid." Now, this is coming from a professional who watches these practices every single day, not some random fan with an opinion. But here's where it gets really deep. Rudder revealed that the training camp observations show how the reps weren't just uneven. They were strategically designed to make Shedeur look bad. The Browns are emphasizing intensity with Gabriel while giving him schemes and play calls that highlight his strengths. Meanwhile, Shedeur is getting the leftover scraps and being set up to fail. And the recent reports from just days ago are backing up everything Rudder said. According to the latest training camp stats from ESPN Cleveland, here's what's really happening. On day 8 of training camp, Shedeur completed 70% of his passes with 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. That's elite-level performance right there. But somehow, Gabriel is still being positioned as the more ready option, despite having worse numbers. The media keeps pushing this narrative that Gabriel has 6 years of college experience, making him more prepared. But hold up, if you need 6 years in college to be ready, what does that tell you about your natural ability? Meanwhile, Shedeur dominated at the highest level of college football and led Colorado to unprecedented success. Here's what's really wild. They're tracking passing stats, and Gabriel has thrown 38 passes compared to Shedeur's 31. Why is one rookie getting significantly more opportunities than the other in what's supposed to be an equal competition? That's not competition. That's predetermined outcome.
The training camp observation he talked about, he said he offered insight how a lot of the reps were not only non-reps, it was even the schemes of play calling to make Shedeur look bad. Browns are emphasizing on intensity and that Gabriel is being prepared for more significant playing time than Shedeur. I had a video I just dropped where certain media pundits acknowledge that the Browns are literally preparing only Dillon and not Shedeur. Now,
Let me break down exactly how this rigged system works, because Rudder laid it all out. The reps in practice, the playbook distribution, even the offensive line matchups and scrimmages. Everything has been skewed to make Dillon Gabriel look better. This isn't a competition, family. It's a setup. Shedeur has been given second-team reps at best. He's running plays that are doomed from the start. Poor protection, predictable calls, zero rhythm. Meanwhile, Gabriel is getting the best receivers, first-team offensive line, and design plays built specifically for his strengths. How is that fair competition? And here's the kicker. Word around the league is that the Browns have been receiving pressure from other owners, league insiders, and even local sponsors not to give Shedeur the starting job. Why? Because a young, confident black quarterback with swagger, family legacy. And why Dillon Gabriel? Simple answer, he's safe. He's quiet. He fits the mold that NFL plantation ownership still prefers, even in 2025. They see him as coachable, but what they really mean is controllable. Don't get it twisted. Coachable and controllable are two completely different things. Shedeur is his own man. He comes from greatness. He's smart. He's branded. And he's vocal. That scares them. The Browns' ownership and coaching staff think Shedeur brings too much spotlight, like that's somehow a bad thing. But the truth is, they don't want to hand the keys of the franchise to a young, confident brother who can't be controlled by their PR spin machines. Jimmy Haslam, the owner, has his own agenda. He's busy with his other investments like his involvement with various franchises, and Shedeur's independence doesn't fit into his controllable narrative. Andrew Barry, the GM, might privately respect Shedeur's talent, but he's being overruled by the power structure above him. Now let's talk about the media manipulation that's been exposed. People like Albert Breer and Mary Kay Cabot have been pushing false narratives about Gabriel being ahead in the competition. Rudder called them out directly, saying these media personalities are bought off to go with an agenda. And just last week, there were reports suggesting that while both rookies will likely make the roster, Gabriel has the slight edge over Sanders in the pecking order. But based on what? Certainly not performance, because Shedeur has been outperforming him consistently. Recent reports show that in a seemingly four-way quarterback competition, it feels more like a pair of two-way competitions. Translation: they've already separated the veterans from the rookies, and within the rookie battle, they've predetermined Gabriel as their choice. Here's something that's been bothering me, and Rudder touched on this too: Gabriel's height. They list Gabriel as 5 feet 11 inches to 6 feet 0 inches, but we've seen him standing next to media reporters who are 5 feet 10 inches, and Gabriel doesn't look taller than them. There was literally a moment where a reporter was teasing Gabriel on the podium about being taller than him, but somehow this height concern never gets addressed in the media coverage. Meanwhile, Shedeur has the ideal quarterback build and presence, but they're finding every excuse to downplay his physical advantages. It's like they're looking for reasons to eliminate him rather than reasons to elevate him. This isn't just a quarterback battle anymore. It's a political war. Look at the landscape. Look at how the media is covering this situation. You've never seen a battle between two rookies in training camp get this kind of polarized coverage. Not even the RG3 and Kirk Cousins situation had this level of obvious bias and predetermined narrative. But here's what they don't understand. You can't suppress real talent forever. When those lights come on during the regular season, when the games actually matter, Shedeur is going to shine bright because greatness always rises no matter how much they try to bury it. Just this past week, there have been multiple reports about the Browns' plans for both quarterbacks. Jimmy Haslam was asked about giving both rookies playing time this season, which tells you they're already planning for Gabriel to get the majority of meaningful snaps. And here's what's really telling. After Kenny Pickett's recent injury, instead of this being an opportunity for both rookies to step up equally, the coverage has been focused on how this affects Gabriel's development more than Shedeur's opportunity. The latest training camp reports show Shedeur impressing on day 4 with consistent performance, but somehow Gabriel is still getting more first-team reps and more design plays that showcase his abilities. That's not how real competitions work. This situation exposes something much bigger than just one quarterback battle. It shows how the NFL still operates with an old-school mentality when it comes to black quarterbacks who don't fit their preferred mold. They want players they can control, players who won't challenge the system, players who will be grateful just to be there. Shedeur represents everything they fear: independence, confidence, family legacy, and the ability to build his own brand outside of their control. That's why this competition was rigged from the start. But here's the beautiful irony. By trying to suppress Shedeur, they're actually creating more attention and support for him. Every unfair practice, every biased report, every predetermined outcome just adds fuel to the fire of people who recognize real talent when they see it. Despite all this manipulation, Shedeur has maintained his professionalism. He recently said about the quarterback room, "Inside the room, we know we're one. Outside, people try to pit us against each other, but we understand the situation." That's the maturity and leadership they claim to want, but when he shows it, they find other reasons to dismiss him. And that 70% completion rate on day 8 of training camp? That wasn't an accident. That was Shedeur showing he can perform under any circumstances, even when the deck is stacked against him. While Gabriel is getting carefully orchestrated opportunities, Shedeur is making the most of whatever scraps they give him. The preseason games are going to be crucial, and here's what to watch for. Pay attention to who gets more reps with the first-team offense, who gets the better play calls, and who gets more opportunities in crucial game situations. I guarantee you'll see the same pattern continue. But here's my prediction. Shedeur's natural talent is going to shine through regardless of the obstacles they put in front of him. When he gets his chances, he's going to make plays that Gabriel simply can't make. And when that happens, it's going to be impossible for them to ignore. Salute to Daryl Rudder for having the courage to speak truth to power. That's why I'm giving him his flowers today, even though I don't always agree with everything he says. When insiders start exposing the manipulation, that's when you know the truth is too obvious to hide anymore. This isn't just about football. It's about fairness, it's about opportunity, and it's about recognizing that talent doesn't care about your predetermined narratives. Shedeur Sanders is going to prove that greatness can't be contained, no matter how rigged they make the competition. So there you have it. The truth about this so-called quarterback competition. It's not a competition when one player gets all the advantages and the other gets set up to fail. But like I always say, the cream rises to the top, and Shedeur Sanders is about to show the world why he can't be denied. The question isn't whether Shedeur has the talent. We already know he does. The question is whether the Browns organization has the integrity to give him a fair shot. Based on everything we've seen so far, that answer is looking pretty clear. But keep watching, keep supporting, and keep demanding fairness. Because when the regular season starts and the real games begin, talent always finds a way to shine through. What do you think? Are the Browns really running a fair competition, or is this whole thing rigged from the start? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if this opened your eyes to what's really happening. And make sure you subscribe because we're going to keep following this story and exposing the truth that mainstream media won't tell you. Remember, black quarterbacks do matter, talent deserves recognition, and fairness should be the standard, not the exception. Stay woke, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.